even though when we're talking about it, such little money in the grand scheme of things, but it's really just to more make a point.
All right, well, moving on to the Real Housewives of New Jersey, because Joe Gorga has been sued by his former lawyer for refusing to pay legal fees in a $6 million real estate sale. So the U.S. Sun reported that Joe's former lawyer is suing him for $3,337 in unpaid legal fees. So he said he was hired by Joe in December of 2020 to represent him in that $6 million commercial real estate transaction. He said during the period from December 2020 to May 6th of 2021, the plaintiff performed legal services for the defendant in connection with the transaction. On May 14th, 2021 and June 9th of 2021, the plaintiff rendered itemized invoices to the defendant, like I said, for a total of about almost $3,500. So despite these demands, he failed and refused to pay any of the amount. They have reached out to him several times. He has not responded. What does a lawyer do in this situation then? I mean, like he said, you filed, you filed this complaint against him, but what can he really do to make him pay this?
So, lawyers, fortunately for us, we make the rules. We've created a mechanism to allow us to go get the money that we believe we are owed for the services we render. Now, $3,300 is not a lot of money, but there's a point to be made, especially when someone is dealing with a $6 million real estate. Like, listen, this is not a lot of money. If you're not going to pay me, I'm going to come after you, and they can do it. So typically what happens, you have to give them notice, like, hey, there's a fee dispute. And then once they have a grace period, you just come after them. The problem is that if the attorney wins, the attorney will get more than the $3,300. They'll get probably a penalty on top of that, including the cost and his own time, more likely than not, for having to collect it. So it is just a bad idea for people to ignore attorneys when they're saying, listen, you owe me money for work that I did, especially if he's not responding. It just doesn't look good. So he's going to get more than $3,300, even though when we're talking about it, such little money in the grand scheme of things, but it's really just to more make a point.
Right. Yeah. And I believe Joe has been accused of not paying people in business deals in the past. So hopefully he does kind of pay up. And when that happens, like, do businesses kind of do the same thing? They can go after him, like hire an attorney and go after him and kind of force him to pay back this money.
Yes. Well, I guess it's fortunate for the attorney. The attorney doesn't have to pay another attorney. That's the thing. Does a business want to spend $5,000 to collect $2,000? Right. That's one question. But when the attorney is going like, I don't have to pay anyone to come after you. I'm not wasting, this is for fun. I do this for a living. That's the I guess that's the wall that Joe hit on this particular instance, whereas he can, when it's little amount of money, it doesn't make business sense to go after him. For the attorney, it doesn't cost him anything.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.